All right, YouTube, what is good? Another video. Back again. It's your boy Aziz, Rhymes with Disease. And I just had to get back on here because we just finished a good short workout at the gym before I went to work. Always got to make sure you hit a workout before or after work. Regardless of what time you're getting out of work, you need to be working on your physical fitness because this video is going to not only tell you, but it's also going to be a little story time about what happened to me this past weekend. I'm here to not only confirm, but also reiterate again, you need to be in the gym. Body game is key, and it's also one of the best ways to increase your confidence as a man and also boost what you want out of what you get in life. The more you work on yourself, the better results you'll see both in your work ethic, your life, your dating habits, and also the other areas that you like to work on. Me personally, I've always struggled when it comes to women and approaching girls and or having those interactions with women that I've always wanted. But I can definitely say as I've been in the gym, not only have my interactions with women increased, but it's also increased my confidence and allowed me to have better interactions with women. Because as I'm working on myself, I have a very smooth and semi-chiseled face. I have good facial features, and also my body is aesthetically pleasing and shows my physique and how good of shape I'm currently getting in. It's one of the best ways to not only allow me to approach the girls that I find attractive. This weekend, I did something that I normally don't do, and I went to I guess you would call it a bar, but at night they turn it into like a nightclub for like young teens and young adults. So the bar slash nightclub is for the ages of 18 and up. And yes, they do serve alcohol, but you have to have an ID and they do check all of that. Me personally, I don't really drink, but I'm not against having maybe one drink every couple of months. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I don't like the taste of alcohol, so I genuinely don't really go towards it for the most part. But I am not against it because I understand that everybody has their vices, and as long as you're moderating yourself when it comes to the drinking, there really isn't any issues. But for me personally, I tend to stay away because it can bring out my personality, but I feel like also my personality is pretty good when I'm sober, but I can be more tense and less loose. So having one drink will loosen me up. But this weekend, I went to one of the nightclubs that I've never been to, and a nightclub in general I don't go to because I'm one of those people and have been one of those guys growing up that I was definitely a very sheltered kid. My parents did not let me go to sleepovers. They didn't allow friends to come over to my house, and I wasn't allowed to go over to other people's houses. So it was definitely something that kept me back from doing certain things and didn't allow me to express myself in the ways that I wanted. But now that I'm older and understanding myself more and becoming more self aware, it's time that I do the things that I want to do and I stop letting my parents control me. Because at the end of the day, if I don't do what I want to do, I won't get the results that I want. And that will not be because of my parents, that will be because of me. So I'm putting in the effort to change certain situations in my life and also make effort to have the things that I've always wanted, which is more time to go out, better interactions when I go out, and being more confident with the people that I approach, whether I know them or not. So that's another reason why me being in the gym and working on my physique has allowed me to do so. While I was at the party or while I was at the bar, they had a pool hall that was on a upper level as the dance floor was on the lower level. So they kind of had like stairs leading up to a semi-high second level. So they had five pool tables, and I basically bought time to have a pool table to myself. So that was fun. I like to play pool because that's where I learned to play pool in college. So seeing that they had a pool table was definitely something that interested me. And I was wearing one of my compression t-shirts, not this red one, but a gray one because I wore gray sweats. And I was trying to, show off the physique for the huzz, as you know. But it definitely was something that showed me that, yes, the more you work on your physique, the more approachable you become because you don't look like one of those guys who doesn't take care of himself. And it just presents you in a more attractive light. One thing I did do though that one of my friends told me not to do because he works security there, so he's the one who told me about the place and said I should come over. I definitely can't always keep wearing this turban. It's a turban style do-rag, but I'm wearing it because I'm trying to grow out my hair, and also secretly I got my hair braided, but unfortunately because I still live with my parents, they 100% did not approve and I had to get that unbraided. But I'm trying to grow my hair out, so I know also putting hair oil and protecting my hair definitely helps grow my hair, but at the same time, I really need to braid my hair or and keep it in a style in order for it to grow the way it's supposed to. So that's why I'm working on being able to do that, but I have to definitely navigate how I'm going to do that because unfortunately my parents don't approve, but at the same time, I'm a growing man and I can't 100% let them control me all the time. So in order for me to be able to do the things that I want, I either have to find a way to do it under their roof while they approve of it or move out. I'm leaning more towards the moving out, but that's something that I'm working on as time goes on because not everything can be done in one day. So, as I'm making my journey of not only self improving, doing what I need to do for myself, and increasing my efforts both physically, mentally, and in my endeavors to get the life that I want, it's important that I understand the things that have held me back and I don't let those things hold me back. And you, as a man, if you have things that are holding you back, you need to not only fight those urges, but you need to combat those things with common sense and self awareness. You need to really understand yourself as a man, understand what you want, and don't allow really anyone or anything to control you and or stop you from getting what you want. Because a lot of the times when you don't get what you want, it's not because of anybody else. It's really because you either did not try hard enough to get what you want or you let other people stop you. And even though I'm somebody who loves my parents, I'm not really a disrespectful person. I can't always let them tell me what to do and or control me because they're not the ones living my life. And if I don't get what I want for myself, I can't really blame them because I chose to let that happen. So if I know that I don't want to be subjected to the things that my parents keep telling me to do, even though I know I don't want to do them, I have to put in the due diligence to not only save money, but put myself in a position to be able to live on my own. And that is my biggest goal right now. Putting myself in a position to live on my own. That's why I'm working on making extra income. And I have chosen to stop buying unnecessary knickknacks and or personal items. Me, for example, I like to buy a lot of things. I'm too obsessed with spending money, but at the same time, it's definitely important that I save the money that I have because there's no reason for me to be spending it all the time. That's why with this job that I have that I make $65,000 a year, it's very important that I'm making sure to put money aside each paycheck in order to start saving up. For anybody who's curious of what to do when it comes to saving up, all you need to do is just take 20% out of your paycheck to start saving and put that towards emergency funds or saving. 20% isn't a lot. So, for example, if you're somebody who makes, let's say, $700 per paycheck, you will go into your iPhone calculator, put in 700 and also the multiplication sign, and you would times that by 0.20. That will give you how much money you are taking out of that $700 and putting in your savings account as savings. That is the easiest way to start saving and is also one of the fastest ways to start saving. It's something that everybody should do, but it's also not something that everybody knows to do. So as I continue to make these videos, I'm always going to sprinkle in and help every man, woman, or anybody who's young or old start to get better and do what they need to do in order to have the life that they want. Because, like I've said, accountability is key, and I definitely haven't taken accountability for certain things in my life. It's important that I understand that the things that have happened to me aren't always my parents' fault. They are sometimes my fault. But in order for me to understand how I can get better, I have to be self aware and I have to be willing to take those necessary steps to have the life that I want. And those steps include saving money to be able to move out, getting my physique better, and also going out and approaching people in ways that I haven't done before. Because in order for me to get a girlfriend, in order for me to build and have better relationships, and in order for me to express myself in a way I haven't done before, I have to be willing to put myself in uncomfortable situations and also be willing to put myself in situations I've never been in before. I'm not saying you have to put yourself in dangerous situations, but you definitely have to be more open minded, and definitely show your character in a way that you possibly haven't done before because it's going to show you a new thought process while you're doing those things. And it's also going to show you that maybe what you thought was scary wasn't as scary. So, as a man, you need to not only be improving on yourself, you need to be self aware of yourself. You need to take accountability for yourself and what you do and what you haven't done. And you need to be working every day to improve in certain areas of your life. If you know that you have big aspirations, you need to just get working on those aspirations. Don't wait for anybody to hand you the key to the door that will lead you to the life that you've wanted. Go find that key yourself, because you don't want to be thankful to anybody but you and the God who created you for why you're able to get to where you want to be in life. The only thing that's stopping you is you, and it took me a while for me myself to understand that. Why? Because I'm somebody who overthinks, and at a point in time I was more focused on the end goal than I was the actual journey. Now that I'm definitely less distracted on what's going on, and I know exactly what I need to do to get to where I want to be, I'm focused on being very selfish. I'm focused on cutting out any distractions, and I'm also focused on saying no to anybody, anything that will get me where I don't want to be. At the end of the day, I know that the work that needs to be put in has to be relentless, it has to be consistent, and it has to be, in a way, selfish, because nobody will get me what I want but myself. I know I've said that several times, but it's very true. Nobody but you will get you what you want. So you need to be selfish with your goals. You need to understand what you want to do, and you need to be putting in the work, the due diligence to get to the place that you want to be and to become the person that you want to be. With that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.